University, the voice of Reichman University.
The Baseline. Stories from the court with Jonathan Rears and Mayor Cohen.
We're back here today, the Baseline podcast. Jonathan Rears, Mayor Cohen, and we got our boy in Charlotte, Isaiah Miller.
How y'all guys doing, man?
Thanks for coming on. Tell you a little bit about what we do for the Baseline podcast. This is season 3, almost 20 episodes in. We're trying to turn these episodes out, keep them going, really just taking individual basketball stories. That's what we're all about. We've had some great interviews with guys all over the world. Any experience, EuroLeague, G League, domestic leagues from Europe, everything like that. So we just love hearing basketball stories. So we appreciate you coming with us and along today. We're excited to get started and get into it.
I appreciate y'all. It's an honor to be here, man.
To our guests who might not know where you played. So Isaiah came out of UNC Greensboro, 4 years there, and then went over to the G League, played for Iowa, the Minnesota Timberwolves G League team, and then the Salt Lake City Stars for 2 years, the Jazz team, and then the Austin Spurs, obviously the San Antonio Spurs team, before unfortunately getting hurt this year, which we'll obviously like to talk about. But why don't we go all the way back? Where did that passion, where did that love for basketball really start when you were growing up?
I'm not gonna lie, it came from my brother. My brother was playing basketball I used to just look up to him. And as I saw him, because I was playing football at first, I started in football. That was my first sport. But as I saw my brother playing, the excitement it brought him, how passionate he was about it, I kind of like drifted that way more than football. And, I had to get more into it with basketball and had to put in some work, man.
Once you found that love for ball, where were you at the time of your middle school, high school days, and maybe talk about the AAU time and how that got started?
Middle school, I went to like 3 middle schools, man. I went my 6th grade year. I went to this school in Liberty in Georgia. Then I transferred over. I was moving a lot that year, so I transferred over to another middle school at Clements. I had a good year there. Some good teammates. Most of them was football players and stuff. And then my last year, I went to a school called Cousins, and Cousins, it was kind of like a breakout year because it was my 8th grade year. All the high school coaches trying to get a hold of me and trying to get me to go to that school, this school. AAU through that time, I was balling out same guys I grew up with while I was there. I played YMCA when I was little. Mostly all those guys transferred to AAU with me. And yeah, we just been boys ever since then.
So we hear a lot about college recruitment and all these coaches, trying to tell a player where to go, it's the best place to go. Nowadays, NIL, even like money's a factor. And we already talked about how like it's such a tough decision for college kids to make when they're 18, but you're talking about even for high school, like guys are coming after you, trying to recruit you. So like how do you kind of know who to believe at such a young age when you're even like trying to decide where to go to high school? And what's that decision like? And our coach is saying some like crazy shit to you, like we'll promise you this and promise you that.
It's kind of different now because like now you got, like you said, it's NIL now. So I never experienced that. That wasn't my era. But when coaches is coming up to you, making calls and telling you you'll be this and that for the team, man, you just really gotta find like the most genuine, that coach that always just hit you up every day, just check up on you, shoot, even visit your house, man. I mean, sometimes it's like like that with many people, like if you higher ranked. They come to your house, meet your family and stuff like that. But out of the bunch, you just gotta find the most genuine, somebody who really is gonna care about you out through that whole process.
And for you, what made UNC Greensboro such a good connection for you with their coach?
Uh, their coaching staff was amazing, man. I had a Andre Morgan, Coach Morgan, named Coach Morgan, work at Cincinnati right now, with Coach Miller. But he was on me every day, man. He was just checking up on me. He came down to visit. Like it was crazy, man. He just kept calling me, kept texting me, like to make sure I stay on my stuff. Like I'm like, yeah, I want somebody like that. I had two other offers. I had a lot of offers and interests up to my senior year, but I had bad grades, man. School wasn't for me in high school, man. I had some bad grades. I only had three schools that wanted me towards the end of my high school career, and it was Miami of Ohio, ECU, and UNCG.
Did the grades and the school and stuff like that, did that ever make you kind of think about maybe doing like a post grad or a JUCO or something like that?
Yeah, I had big schools that was trying. I had the high major schools. They were trying to get me in post grad or JUCO, and they was telling me they was gonna pick me up after I got my grades up and stuff like that. But I was like, man, I'm a year older than everybody, because I got into school late. And I was like, man, I felt like I ain't have enough time, man. So I was like, yeah, it's time to go to college, buddy.
So you're at UNC Greensboro for 4 years, and we kind of see some crazy improvement with you there. You're averaging around 8 points a game your freshman year, then you're doubling that by your sophomore year, and you finish really strong. So, what was it there that kind of clicked for you from the freshman to sophomore year? Maybe some people that are around you, or the kind of approach in their offense was a little different, but we saw you just take over when you reached that sophomore year. So, what kind of changed as you got in there and got comfortable?
What changed my freshman year? I just felt like a raw talent, man. I just felt like I was out on the court. Even though I knew what type of player I was when I first got in college, I just had to find a role that I was perfecting in. My role was on that was playing defense, man. I was at the top of the press, going crazy, just going wild, running around everywhere. They had some great shooters in the SoCon that year, so I'm over here chasing a whole bunch of shooters off the line and stuff like that. So my freshman year, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take this role and perfect it. But I wanted to be one of the best freshmen in that class. Sophomore year, I wanted to be one of the best players in that conference. Junior year, I wanted the whole NCAA to hear about me. And my senior year, I was like, I'm gonna be one of the best. Probably gonna be trying to be top five in college right now. So,
Yeah,
so
no, that's a great approach. So how much did kind of the coaching have to do with it? Because we talked to some guys and they're like, it's all about the faith that the coach puts in you. And how much truth is there to that?
it's a lot of truth to that. Coach Miller put a lot of faith in me. I feel like I gained his trust that sophomore summer I had. I gained a lot of trust because I was putting in a lot of work. Practice was going very well for me. My teammates had my back sometimes. They'll be like, man, why is they ain't doing this? Why is they ain't doing that? Even the GAs, man, the GAs used to be in my butt. They had so much faith in me that they made me put in so much work throughout the whole day that I just had a big breakthrough that sophomore year
So
and
how
just
did
gained
the role and kind of leadership for the team go? Like once you kind of show up as a freshman to transitioning to your later years at UNC Greensboro. So you're there for 4 years. So by the time you're on your way out, have you taken more of like a leadership role with the team? And how did that kind of look like you maybe maturing as a person or a player just to kind of understand what it takes to be a veteran on that kind of team?
I had my freshman year, I had a senior I was always room up with. His name was Marvin Smith. And he showed me like true leadership. Like he showed me like when I had to get on somebody's butt, I had to get on somebody's butt. Like when I had to tell a coach, like, nah, this ain't it. It wasn't it. So he was a very stand-up guy. Like he was so much into a Kobe mentality type deal. And I kind of like embraced it a little bit after my freshman year. I kind of installed it a little bit sophomore year. Then it just became more and more as the years went on.
And UNC Greensboro, we saw that a few years later, you got your jersey hung up over there. So how'd
Oh
that
yeah,
feel?
for sure. That was one of the best days of my life.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And then after your senior year, you're balling out, right? Like
Yeah.
we said, you're averaging almost 20 points a game. And now senior, it's always sad, but that chapter has to end. And then you have to think about your professional career. So my first question is, did you always consider playing professional basketball after you're done there? And then also, what were the thought process behind maybe going overseas or taking the G League route?
Uh, so to your first question, yeah, I always wanted to play professional basketball. That was a dream of mine since I was little. That's what I was fighting for. all my life, man. I worked my butt off to get where I'm at today. And I embrace that. But uh that process after I was, I was chasing the NBA, man. It was straight NBA. I didn't know anything about overseas. I didn't see the culture about it, stuff like that. So every time my agent talked about overseas teams, I was like, nah, NBA, 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 even the G League, because I was like, I'm gonna work my butt off and get to the NBA. Even that first year, I feel like a lot of rookies be so eager and they hear NBA and just everybody's gonna be a part of it, man.
Yeah, for sure. And you go and you play with Iowa, right? You play 47 games there, and you average about 14 points in your first season. And right, the G League, it's a high competitive league. And you go Iowa, and then you go Salt Lake for 2 years, and Austin, and we'll talk about different parts. But while you're in the G League, you're one of the only guys that we've had here that's only done the G League so far. And you had your stint in
I did
Rwanda,
Africa. I did Africa for like 2.5 months.
right?
Played for Rwanda. That's probably it.
Rwanda. We'll, we'll
Yeah.
we'll talk about that too. But my question is like staying in the G League for 4 years and playing there, do you have that clarity when you speak with coaches, when you speak with management and the owners in the organization about like when am I going to get my chance? When am I going to get my chance to go up? When am I going to get I see like few players are getting hurt. Like when's my time?
I really don't ask them questions like that, man. I'm really one of the type of people that just let my game talk. So, um, yeah, I leave that up to my agent type thing, man. I don't. I mean, I asked them. Coaches come at me and tell me like I'm almost there. Like everybody always say I'm all like you're this close, man. And I just be like, all right, man, I'm just gonna keep working. But that's the thing with playing basketball in the G League, man. It's a development league for certain guys. It's not even supposed to be for me. It's for the two ways and the rookies or sophomores they need to develop. So man, I understood that. I didn't understand that until that second year with Salt Lake. Because my first 2 years I was struggling with that, and I'm like, man, when I'm like you said, like when I'm gonna get my chance, I ain't get a chance yet, stuff like that. But my second year Salt Lake and Austin, I just took it to the chest. I'm like, man, this it's not supposed to be for me. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Just happy God put me in an opportunity where I can showcase my talents in front of NBA execs and front office and stuff.
So let me ask you, because we hear a lot about this from our guests, right? The G League's kind of this unique league where, as you said, it's a development league.
Mhm.
So a lot of times we think, or what we've heard is that it can be players trying to maybe play like these guys you said, development league, they'll come down. Maybe they won't like play so much with the team because they're trying to show someone for something like they want to show a good move to a coach or something like that. So what's the kind of the difference and how do you balance that like when guys are maybe playing for themselves a little bit versus like kind of your approach, which is I'm just going to do this and we're going to win and do the best I can do but not kind of make it too much about yourself that maybe some guys who come down a level are playing like that. So what's the balance like in the G League? How you kind of have to, play with both of those?
You just gotta take it on the chin, man. Like I said, it's development for them. They gotta get the biggest process out of it. So I don't make those decisions. More about how the GM feel about it. How many minutes they get. What coaches is telling them and stuff like that. If the coach telling you to go out there, you gotta shoot at least 25, 30 shots. I mean, it's development league, go get a feel for you can go up top and do what you have to do up top. I mean, it's hard for us to, win a game when you're doing that. But, like you said, like like I said, I just take it on the chin, go about my day and let the coaches worry about that part. My part is try to go win a game and showcase my talents, how I've been doing.
So one of our recent guests is actually an assistant coach for the Texas Legends, Jeff Gray, and
Um,
yeah, and he brought a quote from Alex Caruso that says like, you're not trying out to be the number one guy on the team. You're trying out to be a guy who's washing the bathrooms, playing their role,
yeah.
and that's something that we see Alex Caruso do so well. If not the best in the league, he knows how to play his role. Like there's no one scrappier than him on defense. And then asking you this, like a guy who I've just seen recently that like you won all G League defensive team and you
First team all defense.
first
Oh
team all
yeah.
defense
Oh
and
yeah.
you know that you got to play both ends of the court if you're actually going to make that leap and you do it on the defensive end so well. How do you like we said 4 years in the G League, how do you improve in a way where you're not trying to like get the ball through the hoop but like actually know how to earn a spot on a team and get that role for a specific team?
So to my understanding of like, I like you said, I play so well on defensive end, but my understanding is my improvements gotta be shooting, stuff like that. I had the numbers this year for 3-point, but I didn't have the numbers for free throw, like shooting like 60 something or 50 something this year. But and I shot 38 from three this year type thing. So it's an analytical league as well as an NBA. A lot of my stats don't show what I do in the court. If you talk to any of my coaches, I do a lot of stuff that stats don't show. But my thing is, I saw this quote that KD, not quote, but he got on Instagram and he with LeBron, and he was saying like people my height ain't going to survive the NBA unless you like a Drew Holiday or like Chris Paul, Kyrie. I'm I'm not going to compare myself to Kyrie. I'm going to compare myself to the Drew Holidays and Derek Whites and people who matter. Alex Caruso who go out there, be scrappy, knock down a shot, create space for that guy who's scoring, the guys who are scoring 30 points or try to involve my game or adapt to them what they're doing. So that was my whole improvement thing of being in the G League.
I love that you brought KD. I love when he I watched the Mind the Game podcast. They're
Yeah.
great.
Tell us a little bit about your time in Rwanda, because I'm super curious. You not only just went over there, like you just took over when you were there and had like incredible success. So I kind of want to hear all about it. How did you first, get connected with them or decide you want to go to play down there? And then tell us a little bit about the differences and what you were expecting or not being down there and how you were able to really take over.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought Africa was gonna be, Africa. I thought Africa was gonna be Africa, man. I thought it was gonna be hot. I thought I was gonna be taking showers outside, see some lions or something. But it was like the opposite of that. It's like it's still moderate, man. They got like stores and stuff. It just their style, man. They had a little style. They had the grass. They had the little dirt roads, but it was fun, man. But when I went over there, I had a mindset of I went over there right after summer league, man. I only had like a week off to do anything. I had a jersey retirement through that process. Right after my jersey retirement, I had to get on the plane and go straight to Africa. When I got to Africa, I had a game that night and I had to get my legs on. Yeah, so and the court we was playing on, and it wasn't hardwood floors. It was like a middle school gym slap the floor court type thing. And when I went over there, my first game, I played I only had like 12 points. But second game, when I got my feet under me, I got some rest. Yeah, I just took over, man. I just had this mindset of like I'm finna go over here, do what they do what I do for they can pay me what I need to do, man.
So you thought it was just going to be fields and lines everywhere, and yet you
Yeah,
still had to
I
go
thought
over and play?
I thought I was gonna be in like a little, you feel me? They put me like it was actually magical over there. They put me in a two-story apartment. Like I had like four bedrooms. I had TVs mounted. I was like, dang, this is where I'm living at now. It was crazy. I was like, it
So
was crazy.
So you finished up your fourth year in the G League this year, and I'm sure you played with and against many guys who go overseas and play basketball overseas. And I don't know if you follow along so much, but Euro League, Euro Cup, Champions League, these leagues across the waters are
I love
actually they're on the rise, and a lot of guys are coming out here. A lot of NBA vets, might even choose $2 million yearly contract over their minimum in the NBA. Some guys like Jonas Valanciunas, I saw was even looking
it.
at
Yeah,
going
it was
overseas.
crazy.
But at what point do you kind of not realize, but kind of take a step towards, okay, the G League path isn't working out right now. Maybe I'm going to go and look at Euro League, Euro Cup contracts.
So I've been having this conversation with my agent since my last year with Salt Lake. So I'm starting to take that step right now. That's where that Rwanda deal came in. Right after I had my summer league deal, they saw me play. I went over there, dominated. Now teams just hitting me up from Africa, Middle East, and stuff like that. So. I had an opportunity with the Austin Spurs or Memphis this year to play for either of those teams. I choose Spurs because they had a lot of interest in me, and the coach believed in me, had a lot of faith in me, stuff like that. So I don't know if I'm gonna get that chance again, but we will see this year if they come in contact. But I love watching the Euro League, the Euro Cup. I think it's great basketball. Like you said, it's not guys like out there that's trying to go score 30 every night.
Right.
Multiple guys out there that's, scoring 12, 14, playing defense like crazy. It's just trying to win a game, stuff like that. And that's what I love about it. The atmosphere was crazy, man. The explosions, the flags and everything. I loved it. I love seeing that, man. It's crazy.
Is there a place that like catches your eye that you'd like to play at?
I just revolve around places that's like my play style. I love that Serbia team, Pastan, I think.
Partisan, maybe?
Partizan?
Partizan. I love
Yeah.
Partizan. My
Yeah, they're cool.
homeboy Khalid, he's over there. He's playing right now. He's just playing over there. And he said he was having the ball, man. The crowd was crazy. They love basketball over there. And that's what I want to feel. Like I felt that in Africa. So when I felt that in Africa, I had so much fun just being on the court, the excitement and stuff. Cause that's why you're there for, man. The people that's around you.
So tell us a little bit more about playing Rwanda because I'm really curious. So, like again, what you said about the people. So when you're there, was there like some kind of story or experience that stuck out with like the people that are there that will love basketball and just want to care about it and kind of see how maybe the game's growing down there?
The game is growing so much. It's so many people that's going down there in spurts though. It's like they're just not just they don't have like long-term contracts, I guess, for certain people, or I guess they can't sign those guys to a lot of money right now at that moment. But in them spurts, they be having a lot of talent there, man. That would surprise me a lot. I thought I was gonna go down there, even though I dominated. It was hard to win games out there, man, because they was super athletic, they was long, and it was just crazy, man. And they was very, very physical out there. Like referees wasn't calling nothing. You ain't getting that. Like, and then you just had to play through it, man.
Can you walk us through that moment where you got hurt this year and you maybe even realized it on the spot that like it's really it's not going to be a few days or a few weeks. It's going to be a process and
Mhm.
talk us through like how that process has actually been and how you've been going through PT every day.
So when I got hurt, it was very unexpected. Not unexpected, but when it happened, I felt the pop. I heard the pop. I told my agent, I told the GM, I'm like, I think I just hyperextended it. But when I got in the car, man, it was like, yeah, I think I'm done, man. I didn't think I was trying to pass the ball backwards, trying to turn very badly. I felt the pop. When I felt the pop, I was like, no, please, God, don't let this be, what it is, because I had All Star that next week. I had dunk competition and stuff like that. It was a bad, like, happened at a bad time and stuff like that. But that whole game, I felt weird, man. I just felt off. Felt like my body. I couldn't control my body at that moment.
You're saying even before it happened.
But even before it happened, like when I came to the gym, I was telling my coaches, I was like, man, I just don't feel right, man. Even after the warm ups, I'm like, warm ups. I told one of my assistant coaches because that was like my guy. I was like, man, I'm like, I'm not feeling right. It just feel weird. I was having one of the worst games of my life that game, man. But my agent was down there, so I guess I had to play a little bit more and stuff like that. But I was having the worst games. I started waking up probably like And then like in the third quarter, fourth quarter, when I started getting stuff going, had like scored like six straight points. And I'm like, all right, I'm back in the field. Then when it happened, I'm like, man, I turned, twist, fell on the ground. I was like, yeah, man, it's over with, man. It was over.
How have you been dealing with that mentally through the recovery?
So when I came, it's I was cool when I was in Austin. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get through it. But it really hit me when I got back home. Now I saw, guys getting called up and All-Star happened and I wasn't there. It all hit me for like I say like 2 or 3 days. But I ain't after 2 or 3 days, man, I have a daughter. I had my family. They was on my back about it, like everything's gonna be okay. Just like I had to put in the work. So at this process right now, I'm putting in work in PT. I'm just going to PT. I'm lifting on my own. I'm just doing a whole bunch of stuff to keep me ready for whatever happens next. And when my knee get ready, it's gonna be on go.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we hear a lot about that, about like resilience, but that's honestly inspiring. And we know you're going to come back even stronger. So
Yes, sir.
we're really excited to see that, and we're excited to see what you do next. I just want to ask a little bit about the play style between you mentioned before you like to look at countries that have certain play styles maybe similar to you. So tell us a little bit about your experience playing G League versus maybe a league like Rwanda. Like you mentioned, the players are a little longer and it's a little bit different dimensions like that. But what about your game specifically? Do you think that like really translated to you for you to be able to take over in like a different speed, different league?
Some leagues like my speed of play, like I like to go fast, I like to more of a downhill type of guy. That's why I prevailed in Africa because I was going fast, athletic, I was taking the right shots when I had to. Uh, but in a league like I say like Greece or Germany or something like that, I feel like they'll play slow getting more sets type thing. I got no problem being in a set environment. It's just if I just gotta have a coach that trusts me to, you know, choose my decisions going downhill, taking like a defender. I think that's either weaker than me or I have the advantage of. So just certain things like that, I can take advantage of in certain leagues and like if I go to Italy or France, I feel like they gonna, slow the game down for me a little bit more. But if I go to like Israel, or if I go to Israel or Africa or somebody, I feel like my athleticism and the decisions I would make will prevail in that type of system.
Right. A lot of Americans say that when they come to Israel, they like it because it's more of your own brand type of game, and you can like
Yeah,
they really give you a lot of freedom to do what you want to do. Um,
yeah.
but as we're kind of wrapping up, I want to ask you something that you might say or pass on to other guys going through a tough injury, something that you might have told yourself when you're going through the injury, some like motivational speech real quick.
The thing that's been getting me through it, I've been reading my Bible and it basically was saying the tough will always fade, but the greatness will always last forever. So that's the thing that's really getting me through it because that's having me in my mind like this tough time ain't gonna last forever. It might take longer than what I'm used to, but when I get back to doing what I'm doing, the greatness is going to come back and it's going to last forever. It's going to linger around. So that's the thing that's been keeping me going.
Yes, sir. And any advice to younger hoopers that are coming up out of college right now?
Out of college, protect your money. Nah, but coming out of college, if they come out of college, man, just make your decisions just solely. I'll say be open minded. Just don't be so one dimensional to certain leagues and certain play styles because you never know what's gonna lead you, man. Because it get crazy once you think you're just gonna be a one path and you're just gonna stick in that one path. You'll get stuck, man. You will definitely get stuck.
Well said. Well, towards the end of our podcast, when we're finishing up, we do this little shot clock segment. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna throw up 24 seconds and we'll just ask you some one-word questions. So I'm gonna throw up a shot clock and Mayor, when you're ready.
All right, I got some. I got some.
You got some? I'm just using the same question. All right. Three, two, one, go.
Who's your dream teammate?
LeBron. No,
Favorite
Michael
athlete
Jordan.
outside of basketball?
Favorite athlete outside of basketball? Speed.
Favorite basketball movie?
More than a game.
Favorite
Favorite hoop to shoe in?
You said what?
favorite
Favorite
basketball
favorite
series?
shoe to hoop in?
Josh.
Jazz. All right. There we go.
Nah, that's on us. Zoom is fucking us up. We don't know
And
what next.
Well, thanks
That's
for hopping on, man.
of course, man.
Make sure to watch Miller Time podcast.
Yes, sir. Y'all tapped
Yeah.
in, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, and yeah, just want to say to you, like, best of luck with your recovery. We know you're gonna kill it. Seriously, it's inspiring. We know what these guys are going through and have an injury like this. So we're rooting for you. We're rooting for you for the whole way through, and we hope you come back stronger. We're gonna see you come back stronger, and
Yes,
we'll
sir.
be watching you and following you and rooting for you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. It was an honor, bro. I appreciate y'all having me on. This is so much fun.